much for that solemn introduction. It's good to see all of y'all present today, especially you, Regina. God bless you. I see Mama coming back to sit with me. We just appreciate Regina and the job that she does, and also for being the big sister, even though she's not the oldest. She's the big sister with heart and focused. We just appreciate her. And Ken, as you sit with your mom, and Sister Betty went to sit with Regina. That's what it's all about, people. Family, we've got to lean on each other. And that's how it works sometimes. Brother Freddie, I enjoyed talking with you yesterday. Charles, I enjoyed you, and Thomas, and Jawan up here with the film strip for about 3 hours yesterday. We all had a wonderful time with Regina and Linda. And it's more about the fellowship. You know, the secondary things that bring us together sometimes might not be as important as the fellowship, working together. And even the air conditioning man came by my house yesterday, and with lightning flashing all around us and in the storm. I hope your power didn't go out last night. Did your power go out by a show of hands? Anybody still out? Well, good. We got you back on. That's wonderful. I tell you, I was blinked, and I know it went out for a moment because the lights, the emergency lights came on that we've got rigged up around our house, and the air conditioner started making funny noises, so I cut it off, and I hope the lightning didn't get a direct hit. But when I cut it back on, it started working, so I was grateful of that. But God really showed a display and let us know that He still sits high and look low. For a song of encouragement at the proper time, let us mark in our songbook number 484, When Morning Comes. Number 484. And we do have trials dark on every hand. And sometimes we cannot understand all the ways that God will lead us to the blessed promised land. We need to remember that, people. He will lead us by and by. As I get older in life, I begin to realize that life sometimes is a paradox. But I do really believe, I firmly and truly believe, that God blesses those that He blesses so that we can bless others. Let me repeat it. I really believe that God blesses those in life whom He blessed in order to equip us and prepare us. Y'all are looking at me like y'all don't believe me. I'm trying to put myself in it. Now let me put you in it too. Can't y'all realize that we get blessings from God to bless others? Amen. And He continues to bless us so that we can continue to bless others. And it's important for us to come to church and Bible study and worship service and read our Bibles so we can better understand this relationship. It's a symbiotic. I don't even know what that means. CB, y'all help me. What does symbiotic mean? I think if one helps one thing, then that thing helps back and two people can help. Have you ever seen a video where you see an animal walking and some birds are on his back picking the parasites off of his back? He let them get a free ride on his back as long as they groom him and take the parasite. Let me give you another example. In the ocean, you see fishes going and swimming along with a lot of little bitty fishes coming right beside them. Symbiotic relationship. They are getting a benefit from what's being dished out, and they in turn protect the little bitty fishes that are taking care of them. So they swim together so the big fish can't eat up all the little fish. Do I have a witness? I know I'm not a big fish in Memphis, Tennessee, or at the light company. I'm not a big fish. I'm a little fish. But I have developed an appreciation for working with some of the big fish so that I can help them, and in the process of helping them, I get a benefit out of it. Is that close, Brother Boyd? Symbiotic relationship? What does symbiotic mean? We need to realize God is the big fish. And He wants us to help others. And if we are willing to cooperate with God and help others, then He'll continue to help us. In other words, He works through His the church of Christ, to bless other folk. And it's up to us to help save other folk. But we won't know how to do it if we don't get correctly and adequately informed and committed and inspired to dare to go and help others. Went to pick up a rider today, Ernest. Y'all know Ernest. Sit there for quite a while until I just finally gave message through his cousin or 2 or 3 cousins, people I don't think I remember meeting, to let him know that you be ready Wednesday night. We got to move on. And I don't feel bad that I didn't stay a little longer and wait on Ernest, but Ernest has got to learn that there are certain rules and regulations to cohabit among people. You can't just show up and expect to show out, because if you don't prepare yourself for the task at hand, you're going to come up short. How can you help somebody when they have an opinion about you that you're not even qualified to help yourself? Does that make sense? I can't help you if you look at me and judge me and say, man, you need to help yourself. How are you going to try to help me? So we need to do certain things with our own lives. We need to get ourselves together before we can go out and present ourselves as a willing participant to help somebody. And the reason we should go and want to help somebody is because we're acknowledging that God is helping us. He's blessing us. I'm so blessed right now that I need to go find somebody to help. And that's what we did up here yesterday, Thomas, with the video on the computer, on the laptop. We sit there, and I was nodding on the table, so I finally had to get up and go and talk to the air conditioning man to wake up. I was just tired. On Saturday, what many of y'all know, there's a routine that I take. After working all week, I have to stay in bed about a half a day on Saturday to rest up, to prepare myself. But yesterday was an exception because we had somebody blessing the church with a freezer. And I was excited, and we had a ball. Wherever we went, people could see the camaraderie. Even at Jack Purtle's Chicken, they saw the camaraderie. They got a free commercial today because they had good memories in our minds on how some of that good chicken and fellowship and biscuits and gravy and coleslaw all made us happy when we were growing up. So we were able to relive that on yesterday. And I appreciate Thomas for sharing that. But God spoke through Moses and told him, I want you to go to Egypt and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Question: why did Moses, or how did Moses get prepared in order to go stare the big fish in the face, the king, and tell him to let God's people go, the Israelites? God took 40 years to prepare Moses. First of all, Moses thought he could do it by himself. He saw wrong going on with one of his people. He saw, that's right, the brethren, Brother Freddie. He saw an Egyptian get killed. An Egyptian killed one of, wait a minute, let me get it right. Moses saw some ill treatment of some of his people from the hand of the Egyptians. And Moses went up there and hit the man one time and killed him. He slew the Egyptian because he saw a wrong thing going on. And then he began to get afraid because folk had recognized him and said, you just killed that man. So Moses ran for 40 years in the wilderness. But God was still in the plan. And God wasn't ready for him yet. Because all this happened when he was 40 years old. And then 40 more years in the wilderness. Now he's 80 years old. And he's ready for God's service. You mean God let a man get 80 years old and then take him into service? People, we are not ready for service until we learn and prepare ourselves. I've got to prepare myself. How am I going to come and tell you how to live and what you ought to do to save your soul, and I don't even know how to present myself decent and in order? It's something wrong with the picture when I got signal lights on my car. They got about $4,000 of money invested in my car with signal lights on, but I come to a corner and won't turn and let you know I'm getting ready to turn. It won't help me if I don't use it. It's on the car. All I got to do is pull a little thing down, and it'll let the driver in front of me and behind me and all around me know I'm getting ready to turn. So they'll know how to govern themselves. If I've got a shower at home, 3 full bathrooms, tubs and everything, and then I come out of the house and hadn't used none of them, how am I going to tell you something? You're going to say, man, you need to learn how to go take care of your basic needs. We've got to wake up, people, and utilize what's at our disposal. God has blessed us with so much. We know the truth. We know how to teach a person to get into Christ Jesus to be a Christian. And we know how to encourage a person to stay in Christ Jesus in order to die in Christ, so when they leave this earth, they can go and be with God in Abraham's bosom, just like the poor man did. But somehow we drop the ball. Why do we drop the ball? Why is it that we don't capitalize on what's at hand and what we have disposal of? God has blessed us so much, we need to take some of those blessings and try to bless somebody else. How do we do that? Well, let's look at it. The cry was, let my people go. It's still meaningful in our world today. Through the Pharaoh of this day, we see that it is not embodied in one man, just like Pharaoh was then, but generally manifested as a spirit of perversive and menacing evil. People are having problems. Do y'all realize that? Folk we've got some problems. Don't you have some? What are we going to do about it? Furthermore, it seems the religious people of this age have embraced and too easily coexist with the spirit of evil. We tolerate too much. We say stuff like, that's just the way it is. We can't go around and legislate morality. We can't tell folk what to do. Yeah, but you can give a positive influence. And you can let people know you're not going. Watch what kind of TV you look at. Watch some of the things you say and listen to some of the conversations that you hear. And you've got to be careful not to fan the flames, because there's some trouble out here in this world. We need to realize that there's unrighteous stuff going on all around us. Amen. This righteous and unrighteous seem to be equally afflicted with the plagues of our modern day bondage. We're in bondage just like the Egyptians were. And who's to say God ain't coming down telling us that we need to let God's people go? People are trapped out here. They're in bondage. And we know the answer to release them and let them go. Are we really doing it? Are we effective in helping people get unleashed from this bondage? Crack cocaine is bondage. Alcoholism is bondage. Gambling is bondage. But you can't help people unless you understand the problem. It's not recreational. It's not fun. Talk to the alcoholic or the crackhead or the gambler that lose everything and lose their whole life. It's addictive behavior. And we have to understand it well enough in order to not just articulate it, to talk to people and help them, but show them the love that they need. So they'll know that ain't got no answer for you, so sweetie, honey, sir. That's the wrong direction to go. If you never start using drugs, you don't have to worry about it. But we can get so discouraged. We can be so depressed. And don't think I'm talking about just illegal drugs. It can be something you can buy over the counter. Hello? Amen. Doctors can prescribe it. You take this one pill that makes you feel good, you keep taking it. But it wasn't designed to get you out of your mental sickness, depression. It's probably designed to help you with a surgery or something, and once you get through that, you quit taking them. When I had my hip surgery, they gave me some Percodans or Percocets, I don't remember what it was. And boy, I could get hurting, and I'd take one of them things, and you know what? I still hurt it, but it didn't matter. I just smiled and said, wow, give me some more of that. But I had to realize that I really should only take it when I was in dire straits and needing the help that I needed with the pain. If I could deal with the pain and manage it and go to work and cut the grass, that's what I had to learn to do. I just can't keep taking them things that make me feel good, because that's addictive. It can be, it does become, and they have warnings on there that this stuff can be addictive. So I shied away from it and wouldn't take it. And the nurse came in and said, you need to take some of this stuff. This jewel pad, the pain will be over sooner or later. You ain't got to go through that pain. And she was right. I couldn't sleep. The pain was so. But Then again, I go ahead and bring me one. Bring me some more. But once I was able to mitigate the pain, time heals wound. God let the wound heal. I didn't need them anymore. And I had some sitting around, 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And I said, if the pain ever comes back, I'll get to use them. And then I messed around 12 days later and popped that hip out. Lord knows I had to go get some more. 15 of them, I think, they let me have. Because I was facing something worse than the surgery now. So what we've got to do, people, but I think I end up throwing maybe 10 of them away. Now somebody be ready to kill me over that. Man, you don't throw them stuff like you could have sold it. No. We've got to learn, people, addictive things we need to shy away from. God inflicted Pharaoh with 10 plagues. The first one was blood. Y'all remember that one, don't you? Frogs, gnats, flies. Why do you think God allowed that stuff still to come around now? I always wonder, why did he let a mosquito, especially one carrying the Nile virus, why did he even let that even happen? People, God got it for a reason. Who's to say it's not a plague on us today? Diseased livestock, boils and sores on people and animals, hail, locusts, darkness. We had some of that yesterday with this weather, didn't we? And the death of the firstborn in each family. Yet God protected Israel, didn't he? From each of the plagues. God can protect us, people. Like I see these little diamond little kids. I think I see some kids I recognize, but I'm not sure. Yet God protected Israel from each of the plagues. Today, what are some of our plagues? Does anybody know? Don't we have some plagues? Crime, too much food, that's a good one. Drug abuse, and the food ain't hurt nobody. It's the consumption of it. Consumption of too much of the wrong food. Do I have a witness? Yeah. We all need food. Food ain't bad. Yeah. You get on a cruise ship. Somebody's been on one in here other than just me. You can eat all that fine food. All you want is a bag of chips and a candy bar. You're tired of eating all these delicacies and sweets. So I learned to pack me a bag of chips and a few candy bars. And I can sit in my room and just splurge sometime and look at TV. People, that's what, moderation is a key in life. You can do most anything you think you're big enough to do, but don't let it control you. You try to control it. And when you see that you don't really have a handle on it, certain things you don't tease and play with. You're going to lose every time. When you think you got it figured out, you're going to get addicted. Hello? Well, I could just have one. No, sometimes you can't have none. Ask Brother Boyd, he'll break it down for you. Oh, I could just blow this one paycheck. No, I ain't going to call no names, but I'm telling you, it don't work. Because if you blow one, you're going to be tempted to blow two. And then you say, if I blow this third, maybe I can get them first two back. Now you're 3 in the hole. People, you can't win certain things. So just laugh at yourself if you have to, or cry to yourself and ask God to help the situation. Political upheaval, we got enough of that. All you got to do is cut the TV on. Look on social media. Broken families, loss of values. People don't value life anymore. Our enemies use every philosophy and fleeting doctrine to challenge the Christian's values. They come up with every little thing. Oh, you can try everything once. No, there's certain things you don't need to try. Hello? Have we embraced the norms of secular lifestyle that God has allowed Satan to unleash these plagues upon us? God ain't going to just punish us to punish his people, but he'll let the devil do it to send a message. He'll let it happen to us to get us to either say, what side are you going to be on? This one or that one? You going to settle to do right and help somebody with your blessings? Or you going to think you all of that in a bag of chips? And that God loves you more than everybody else? People, that'll make you get spoiled. That'll make me get spoiled. God don't just bless you because he really likes you. He blesses everybody. But I'm going to tell you, if you want to get some more blessings, take some of them blessings he's already blessed you with and bless somebody else. Amen. God helps those who help themselves and others. When some of them blessings you get, bless yourself. Jesus first partook and then he gave to his disciples. You need to partake of some of your own stuff. Drink your own Kool-Aid first before you give it to other folks. You know, Jim Jones had never drank the Kool-Aid. Did y'all know that? He never drank the Kool-Aid. He gave it to everybody else and let them swell up and die in the sun stinking. And the report is he took a pistol and blowed his own brains out. People, that's a demented person. We've got to wake up and realize that there's more to life than leading other folks down the primrose path. If I can't help you, I sure don't want to hurt you. Don't go through life cursing folks out and hurting people. If you can't help somebody, don't hurt them. The only time we are allowed to look down on somebody is to reach down and pick them up and gently do it in a nice way. Don't jerk the arm out of socket. Don't curse them out and say, what you doing on the ground? We all find ourselves down and out sometimes. But it takes love. It takes love to help get people up. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. People, that's all of us. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry, and from the waters lifted me. Now safe am I. What was it, Brother Boyd? It was love that lifted me. I'm going to tell you again, it was love that lifted me, and you too. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. People, wake up. Let love flow freely in your life, especially in your home, on your job, riding in your car. Talk to your children. Talk to your spouse. Talk to your parents. They say once a man, twice a child. As our parents get older, we need to show them that same love that they showed us. Don't spoil them, but if you do, just a little bit. Let them know they're special. Take them by and buy them some ice cream. Find out, well, you already should know their favorite flavor. Do some things nice for your parents. Do some things nice for them just like they did things nice for you when you were growing up. Mom and Daddy didn't make a difference. Mom and Daddy didn't judge you. Mom and Daddy didn't. Mama tried to be fair. Daddy tried to be fair to all of y'all. Now, if you're a little spoiled, maybe you need to be a little spoiled because you're a special child. Hello. Mom and Daddy know they're little special ones. Every one of them need a little different approach. Do I have a witness? Amen. Mama know your weaknesses and strengths. Some of them need a little more attention. So all the brothers and sisters, the younger brothers and sisters, don't be mad because mama let so-and-so have some things and privileges you don't have because mama know they need a little help. Hello? Amen. We got to help each other. Amen. We got to learn to love one another. Let my people go. And as I conclude, take my seat. Ask yourself the question, what is it that God is trying to tell us? God, I think, is yet saying that we need to let my people go. And the only way we're truly going to learn to let some folks go is that we're going to have to be willing to learn how to do it. How do we let somebody go? You let people go by finding out where their problem is. And don't talk about it. Don't call other folks and say, girl, no. You go to them, you and them alone, and try to find out how can we fix this. What can I do to help the situation? Because if I can't help it, I sure don't want to hurt you. Now, the book say when you're in Rome, do as the Romans. So sometimes you got to walk with a person and find out right where they are and where they're going. And then you'll find out better how to help them. Don't talk about it. Don't fuss at them. Talk to them. Because if they knew better, they would do better. So if you know better, you need to help them by showing them that you understand the problem and you want to help them with their problem. Well, Brother Boyd, since blessings come from God, how do we help people with their problems? You do it by going to the book, thank you, Thomas, the scripture, and getting a verse out and applying it to your life, and then you can help apply it to their lives. But you can't tell them what's wrong. You've got to show them a better way. Fair enough? I looked at our little crowd. We got a good crowd in here. I looked at the cars on the lot. When I passed by Old Union Grove, institutional church down there, Charles, where our neighbor T.C. Williams went, they had half the cars on the lot. Building's 4 times big as our building, if not 6 times. And I thought, what is really going on? Could it be that people's power was out and they couldn't get ready? No, because when the power was out, we still go where we want to go. Hello? Amen. We still do what we want to do. And this is a Sunday. We're off work, most of us, many of us today. People, we better wake up. We better wake up and strengthen what remains. You can lose it all by one deed, by one act. Your freedom, your life, your house. You don't say, what did you say, Brother Teacher?
Your salvation.
Your salvation, that's the main thing. You can lose it all just like that. We better fight and protect what we got, people. You better try to come to church so God can keep blessing you, so you can learn how to help other folk. If you don't try to help somebody, you're automatically hurting them. And start with your own self. Come so you can get better entrenched into the gospel and salvation. And then start with your own little circle. Your spouse, your children, your sibling, uncles, nephews, nieces, aunties, grandparents, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And if they begin to listen to you, then you got something going. Then you can kind of venture out to your next-door neighbors, your co-workers, running buddies, people you went to school with, social media contacts. Let's do what we can to help the situation. Love is what it takes. But people, we really don't understand why God let things happen the way they do. That's why we're going to sing 484 now. And trials sometimes help us. When Moses went through that first 40 years, Brother Freddie, he said he'd rather suffer with the people of God than enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season. He was a privileged child, grew up in Pharaoh's palace. He had good food, he had good clothes, he had access to wine and women and everything you can imagine. But he chose to suffer with his own people, the people of God. He knew he was God's people. He knew his mama put him on the water and floated him down the Nile. And it just so happens his own sister found him and brought him and said, look what I found floating down the river. See, God knows how to fix things, people. He can fix it to where you can be where you need to be, with who you need to be. And you just need to wake up and do something positive with your blessing. Because if you don't use your blessings to help somebody else, who's to say? That's just what we just said. I believe so. I really believe so. God is yet saying, let my people go. This police officer over here is doing what all of us need to do, is pray. Amen. We need to help. We need to thank God for people like Regina. That's got a feel for what's going on. It ain't getting on there just reporting, pushing buttons and talking on the radio and say, go do this and go do that. You got to have an understanding of your community where you live and appreciate what's going on out here in order to be more effective in doing your job. It ain't running and going, running and going. The community policing thing is halfway knowing the people that you're talking to that you might have to engage. You can't go around pulling pistols and execute folk. That ain't what this thing is about. It's about serving and protecting. We got a common enemy out here. They're robbing, they're stealing, they're kidnapping, they're raping, they're murdering, they're doing home invasions. We need the police. We need each other. We need a symbiotic relationship to where we help them and they help us. We scratch their back and keep the folks from sniping them and taking them out. And in turn, they protect us so we can go to sleep and go to work and go shopping. And ain't got to worry about a car thief or a home invader or a burglar or a murderer. People, it's a symbiotic. I don't even know what it means, but I know if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And together, we can make it. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Right now, 484 as we have it as we know it, let us sing. Triumph,